They're broken down and defeated, deterred, busy and confused, sleeping. You're dying while I wait you to get started on the journey chosen, wasted, now it's selected. I was so bad, what happened? Fall out of the sky and crush me in my smile. I was so bad, what happened? Fall out of the sky and crush me in my smile. Sober, sad and jaded. They're not coming, they're broken down and defeated. You are dying while I wait you to get started. You are dying while I wait you to get started. I was so bad, what happened? Fall out of the sky, yeah. Crush me in my smile. I was so bad, what happened? Fall out of the sky and crush me in my smile.
I'm a motherfucking unicorn, a one-of-one. The vibe being the love and light, then light and one. My karma is interstellar, I live by truth. Fighting evil, my scars are living proof. Protecting you from the storms with all my might. Love me, I will treat you right. You ever cross me, it's the last thing you'll ever do. With my crown of thorns, I'll wreck you. I ain't playing, yo, Ryan Hart, call me a saint. Too bad, Chris, because Bigfoot knows my name. I'm a messenger of God, with loyalty I serve, taking out all evil with his holy word. A true Knights Templar, sword in hand, slice you up, bury you in the sand. I'm a motherfucking unicorn, you'll never find anyone like me. Born in the Bronx, raised in NYC, so listen up, take heed. I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. A true Knights Templar, sword in hand, slice you up, bury you in the sand. I'm a motherfucking unicorn, you'll never find anyone like me. Born in the Bronx, raised in NYC, so listen up, take heed. I float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Third Eye Live, home of the Mark Eddy fan club. I am one of your hosts, Brian Bowden, Sir Bryan, and to my that side is the other co-host, which is Mark Eddy. So it's great to have you all here tonight for Third Eye Live. How are you, Mark?
Trying to stay cool. I'm not doing very well at it.
Oh, I'm not either.
It's hot.
It's like, oh, hey, Kenny. It is the type of heat that is coming right now where you take your shirt off and sticks. Throw it and it sticks there. It is getting very, very warm. And as I said and I published this on all social media, we the people, a public service announcement. Can you stop fucking around with the weather? Because that's what's going on. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. We got a great show tonight. A great guest. I got something that I wanted to get for the new show, Open Your Mind. Which, if you missed it, it's Monday nights from 9 to 10 p.m. We may go a little bit over if we have to. But we're going to teach remote viewing. We're going to teach meditation. We're going to teach sound, frequency, vibration, resonance, things to take you a bit higher. Because the man, no, only joking, has been trying to put us down. And if we can, raise our vibration, raise our consciousness, raise all that stuff, we will be able to live a better existence. And the powers we have is going to be all over the place. Great. So,
your debut show did go very well.
I was very, very happy with it. You know what messed up in the I put it into the wrong brand or style, whatever it is on StreamYard, and I had it all set up, and then it opened up with our normal Third Eye Live show, but I had to stop that and put in the video for Open Your Mind. But it went out really, really well. The only thing that didn't work at the time, I wanted an overhead camera to do, drawing and to show the tarot cards. I didn't have it. I thought I could use my camera for that, but it did not work. But next week, it will work 100% better, and everybody will be happy. But I'm going to go say hi to everybody. Texas Cacti. Yes, we are live, sir. We are live. BJ, it's always great to see everybody here. BJ's been helping us out with all this stuff, and we are live right now. There is Michelle Brandenburg, Psychic Medium. Go, please subscribe to her channel. Subscribe to everybody's channel. Listen, you don't have to watch everything, but those subscriptions help all our content people, especially our guest. Subscribe to his show. The more people he has, it looks better that he's getting more people. And this way, he can get into a different part of the algorithms, which would be great. Hey, Mark Eddy's here. Hi, Mark. You're a wonderful fan. Jaquette is not in just yet, but hopefully she will be soon. And we have Val. I know I saw you. Oh, Kenny Momo. What's up, Kenny? I'm going to have Kenny on to do some drawing of people's sightings. We'll have a couple of people on, and then they'll
I can do some drawings too.
Yes, we should have you do some more drawings. And then we have Sansan Kudo here. Welcome. We have Val. What's up? And we just have a great show. As I said on Open Your Mind, we are going to reveal right now, this coming Monday's 3 targets. So this will give you a chance to start working on your remote viewing skills. Remember, in with the air, out with the breath. Blow it out. Close your eyes. Think of a pinpoint. Try to do this for a few minutes. I know BJ and Terry and a bunch of other people I have been contacted. Sometimes we all have focus issues. Maybe we should let go of some of those energy drinks. I don't know. But this is
Fades
3 new targets. Say again?
Fades is here.
Where's Fades? Where is Miss Fades. I don't see her yet. See, this is the problem we have with StreamYard right now. I don't know if Fades. Oregon Bigfoot Fades. Fades. He's nuts to see her. Love that woman. But don't call her a lady. Hey, Laura, it's good to see you. Sometimes StreamYard doesn't propagate like the actual chats and stuff like that. So it's kind of, effed up. But I'm going to reveal right now so everybody can focus in on, hey, Jonathan, we have Newfoundland in the house, or Newfound Land, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Welcome, Jonathan. It's a
Newfie.
It's a Newfie. I wanted a Newfoundland at one point, but whatever. And Jen's here. Look, Jen. Jen, do you know your husband's cheating on you on my podcast? Only joking. He's not on your podcast right now. So it's good to have everybody. But as we said, we're going to reveal the targets for you to focus in on for next week. And here they are, B1, B2, B3. And this is episode 2. It's 9 p.m. this coming Monday. I believe it's 7/6, although 4, 5, 6. Yes. Or is it 7/7? I don't even remember. I'd have to get my calendar out. I got to be honest. This heat is going right to my head. And it's great. No, I was right. 7/6. So, hey, Kenny. And Mickey. Is that Mickey? Mickey.
Yeah.
Love you, Mickey. Say hi to Brandon for us. Mickey is great. She's awesome. What do they say? Let's see what we're going to go through. So we're going to bring our guests on in a moment. Very interesting gentleman. Super chat is open. It's a great way to help support the show. It's not expected, but always appreciated. That's your thing. We're going to continue to do what we do. That's how we roll here at Third Eye Live. But this is what I wanted to put into the broadcast. So I happen to get my new camera, and we're going to use it right now. There it is. It is the documents camera. Maybe we'll lower the lighting or something like that. Nope, that's too low. So, but I put 3 cards in here, and we came close with those 7, 6, 7 on Monday night. So we're just going to flip and see what they are. So the first one is the Ace of Cups inverted. Completion, achievement, fulfillment, success. So we got that going for us. Then we have the Six of Swords, stagnation, unfavorable results, intellectual pride, sadness that does not allow you to see clearly. See if that's coming in like that. I'm going to put that in the middle like that. And this would be the future one. And I think I got to shuffle this deck better. This is the Four of Wands right there. Insecurity, discomfort, mistrust, contradictions, incomplete happiness, leaving home. Some days I'd like to leave home. Oh, there she is. Thank you. Oregon Bigfoot Fades, also known as Yeti Audio Labs. Go subscribe to both. Everybody that is an admin, please post your links here to the broadcast. So I just thought this was great that we can do this at this point. I hope everybody likes the camera is really cool. What I may have to do is in the center one to get the glare out of it, right? I may have to do one of these things to get rid of the glare. So I may have to get another sheet of this material right here, which we'll work on. I have a fan going. If it is too loud, please let me know. But I got to be honest, I'm on the top floor in an apartment building in the worst city of the world, New York City.
I'm not hearing anything.
Oh, hold on. B camera. Are you hearing me now? You hear me now?
Yeah. No, I was just saying. Yeah. I'm not hearing the fan.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you didn't hear me. I can talk. I know a little sign language. I do actually know sign language. One of my friends was Yeti Audio Labs is in there too. I learned from one of my friends who was deaf, and I learned curse words, which is great. And that boy could read lips at about 100 yards, or more. So, but enough of us. Let's bring in our guests. Our guest is the host with the most. Oh, I got to get rid of the J, Robert. Let me hide that for a split second. Get rid of that J. I don't know where that came from. We need like a show producer that can work for us. Do you know any child labor or something? I've got 2 here, but whatever. So, yes, host of This Uncanny Earth, ladies and gentlemen, Robert Salomon. Welcome to the broadcast, Robert. I don't have the applause. I mean, I could use it on StreamYard, but they get to be a pain in the you-know-what. So,
thank you, first and foremost. Hello, Mark. I know Mark already. Hello, Chad. Hello, everybody saying hello. Appreciate you having me on. Thank you. I am the host of This Uncanny Earth, along with my 2 co-hosts, Spider and Steven. Both are my other 2 co-hosts. They're busy working because they're working, man. I work in the morning. I get my work done out the way in the morning time, so I have the rest of the day to get things finished. But thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it, Brian. Thank you.
Well, we're going to use the applause that comes with it. I normally have a roadcaster, which is great. You can throw real applause in and other disgusting sounds. But it's how did you guys for those people that don't know what you do and where this started, how did this podcast come about? And I'm assuming all 3 of you are pretty good buddies. Yeah. And you were hanging out drinking beer one night and said, dude, I'm bored. Let's go start a podcast.
So you're not too far off from that. 2 of them, my other co-host Spider, I know from an old job we both had, and we sort of linked up that way. Steven, I know him from the internet. He took a liking to our show. We got to know the guy. We vetted him, made sure he was on the up and up, and then we were like, okay, you know what, you come on, because I want people on the show that are going to be enthusiastic, not trying to throw wrenches in what we're trying to build. And so this was back in 2018, 2017. I said, hey man, you got your own radio show working right now. He was contracted out with a radio program. I said, hey, can you get me on? If you can get me on, we can get our foot in the door and we can use that as a stepping stone. So what we did was we started a podcast called This Uncanny Earth. It was on Spreaker for a while. And then when Spreaker wasn't a viable option and we wanted to switch to video, we started running into YouTube and StreamYard. We went through a couple other things, but StreamYard and YouTube seemed to be the preferred platforms to put that stuff on. Well, StreamYard being the host, and then YouTube and Twitch and things like that being the places to put the podcast on. So
yeah, I mean, a lot of people, I have a Twitch channel. The problem is with StreamYard, it started out as $19, which was doable. And now it went almost to $50 a month or something like that. And we don't have the that business, whatever it is, where you can get 15 different admins or whatever the hell is going on, which is a lot more money. I mean, don't get me wrong. If we had money coming in, bringing in a lot of money or whatever, from what Mark and I do, and to be brutally honest, we do a damn good job with this show, and we try to be entertaining, informative, the whole thing. We're not your average podcast, but if you have something coming in to pay for the larger or the better platform, it'd be great. But it's just now it's either that or what is that, FM or something like that? I forgot what it's called. Something FM. There's very few that will translate and do the video into other platforms. What would be really interesting is, and I don't really want it live, but it'd be great to be able to hook up StreamYard to your podcast side. So everything you're doing here, when you're putting up a graphic and whatever it is, I use Podbean for the show. So if you go to Podbean and you sign up, you can listen to it on the road. Is that us or okay? It's internet. It'd be great so I could just send it up so it goes to Podbean and just uploads it live, so people that are listening go, hey, this is a live show. I'd rather have them in this chat. Oh, thank you very much, Michelle. See, 9 out of 10 dentists surveyed said that we do a damn good show. So that's JV. You got to get JV. You got to get him on. JV. Paranormal Newfoundland show, and then Michelle can get you on too. But we have a lot of people that come in, podcasters, so they like our guests, and then the next thing you know, like they're everywhere. So it could be a good thing for everybody here.
And that's how I am too. Like, anybody that wants to be on, talk about your experiences, because we're all trying to figure this thing out together. Nobody's an expert, and we're all just trying to figure out what's going on, why it's going on, and how it's going on, and where these places are that it's happening, and try to figure out why it's happening.
Yeah, I mean, and without it being like drug related,
Right? Of course.
Yeah,
That's a side hustle.
Yeah, that is a side hustle. We got to do something here. That would be great. Mark, do you want to talk about your drug hustle? My
pole dancing career is more important to me.
Yeah, only Mark. It's not OnlyFans, it's only Mark. I would have an OnlyFans page, but I don't want to see myself naked. Jesus, I don't. Hopefully somebody does that's female. I'm not into the male thing, so good luck, everybody. Don't ask, don't tell. But so you started off as a regular podcast, and then that was a bold move, taking someone who was listening to you or enjoyed the show and saying, "Hey, let's bring them on."
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
You got to grow your audience, and the best way to grow your audience is to have people merge together for different shows, so that you bring more people in, because you're bringing in their audience as much as you're bringing in your audience. Now their audience has become one with your audience, and your audience is becoming one with their audience. And I'm a person that I love to see people win. I love to see success. I love to hear great success stories, because it pushes me to elevate my game, myself higher, so that I can be on that level. And that's really the goal for me, is to keep pushing and making sure everybody eats, and making sure everybody on the podcast eats, all the people who have supported us throughout the years, making sure they're taken care of. So the big goal for me is to make sure all my people are taken care of at the end of the day.
I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. And I wish you a lot, much success for that, because this is how, you know what? I've learned a long time ago. My dad used to say this: you get more with honey than lemons.
Yeah.
And I'm not in competition with anybody.
No,
I don't pretend to be in competition with anybody. Mark Eddy, I'm not even in competition with Mark. We all do what we do. And are we doing dares now? Sorry about that. That's Jen from Paranormal Newfoundland. I dare Mark and Brian to eat gummy eyeballs and eat them on screen. I will have gummy eyeballs next week. I'll probably send them to Mark too. But it's just like, I'm all about sharing the love. I'm marketing everybody, promoting everybody. The problem we have is, and I'm going to say it, hi, Jaquetta, not everybody returns that. Not everybody has the manners. Not everybody gives the shout out, whether it's their show or elsewhere. But, that's their thing. That's their doing. And, I'm not cutting my bangs live on TV, whatever your name is this week. If you need audio, though, seriously, Yeti Audio Labs, she does a fantastic job on custom songs, and also she does video stuff if she she's in the mood. But don't call her lady. That was her last song. And she's freaking hysterical. You should have her on if she wants to come on. We want to get you on too. But it's so, was your original show paranormal based, or do you do like most? Oh, it was.
Yeah. So this all stems from when I was a child, and I had relatives that had the Time Life Western books. They were a big thing. And I remember seeing dead bodies propped up against storefronts, because in the Old West, they would have them propped up to serve two purposes. One, to deter would-be crooks, thieves, felons. And two, to say, hey, the town, you don't got to be afraid anymore. The people that were doing these bad things, they got bullets in their forehead now, and you can see that. You could go up and touch them. They don't do that so much now. Maybe that'd be a great deterrent on crime. I don't know. But I think that for me, it was being able to, because when I was growing up, you couldn't talk about stuff like this. You were a weirdo. Of course I did anyways, because I really don't care. You think I'm a weirdo, whatever. I don't really care. So, it's nothing off me, because my people are going to gravitate to me. and I'm gonna gravitate to them. So anybody that's just kind of hanging on by the wayside, you get dropped by the wayside. It's not really a big issue for me. And so I told my buddy, I said, hey, years later, I said, listen, man, I've been we got to do something, man. I mean, there's all this strangeness going on in the world. There's all these things that people don't know about, that nobody's ever read about. There's things going on in other nations that have happened in the past and the distant past and our ancient past. And we got to start telling people about this stuff. We got to start putting stuff out there so that people can feed off of it, can eat it, can digest it, and then share that with other people. So this way the knowledge stays relevant. Because I mean, if you look at today, and what really kind of like hammers this home, and I saw one of your fellow chatters out here said, support you, they and people support the most insane things, but yet have people support you. Ask people to support you, and they're like, nah, I ain't got the money this month. Well, you got the money for Netflix, you got the money for all this, you got the money. And listen, I will always say this till I'm dead: you don't got to support anything I do. I don't. It's like I said, I'm going to do it because I love it, and everything else will come after the fact. So it doesn't bother me that I'm not Zach Baggins level successful. That doesn't bother me. I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it because I love to present, and I've presented before. Mark is born witness to that. I've also, been on different podcasts.
Perfect job.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. I like getting in front of other people and talking about this paranormal stuff, esoteric stuff. I'm well versed in a lot of things. So for me, it was like putting all that out there on the internet so people could listen to it and maybe be like, oh, because maybe somebody's doing research that they need the missing piece that I know into their research so they can format it correctly instead of just doing guesswork.
There's so much to unpack there. It's like, I do what I do because I love doing. I love meeting people. Actually, if you ask my kids, I'm like, Dad, don't talk to the toll guy, because I will hold up a toll, or I will, there's been many times like where I'm hanging out with some friends in New York City that don't normally get to New York City. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to go outside, go get whatever you want. And I'm sitting next to the homeless guy with a guitar, and we're singing Freedom. And I bought, buy him a pizza, and I'm like, here you go, bro. It's just, I talk to everybody.
Yeah,
this is how it is. This is how you partially because if you think about it, and I'm nice, I'm nice to people. I will give back what you give me, and vice versa. And I'm very forward about giving you the respect. I mean, I'm a really good guy. I'm a great man. I can be a really good guy, but I can also be a son of a bitch. If it's all how you interact. And as far as supporting, I always tell people when I do interviews, don't take what I'm telling you as the gospel. Do your damn research. Get off your ass, do some research, right? And I'm not trying to sell you anything. Yes, I have 2 books out right now. One's, a story, Native American-based story. The other one is about earth mounds and Native American tradition with aliens and Nephilim and giants and angels, right? I'm not trying to sell you anything.
Of course.
I love you to read it. I mean, and I do appreciate anybody, like, seriously, 99 cents, $1. I'm not asking, there's some people, I've been on some shows and people are dropping $100. I'm just like, holy crap. And what's really crazy about it, and I agree, if it's like tipping for the service or whatever it is, and if you're doing a good show and you get so much entertainment out of it, it's God bless you.
Right.
But I mean, some of these shows that have I know shows that have almost 1 million followers, and I know what they're kind of making. They don't need your $100 at this point.
Right.
So what we're trying to do is, like, Mark and I have, we haven't gotten paid to do this. I've expended a ton of whatever I had. I'd like to be able to give Mark some currency because I don't want him to raise his pimp hand. Mark, don't raise your pimp hand. He said it in text one night.
I'm doing it. He raised it. He raised it.
He raised his pimp hand.
Now he got it back.
It's kind of like that Rick James, bitch, type of thing, but with Mark Eddy, bitch. Sorry, Mark. And I'd like to be able to do something where I can bring in some money and, pick a cause every quarter and donate. And then in the donation, put in everybody that's donated. No disrespect to those that do not. The Third Eye Live tribe is everybody. But I'd also like to include people that donated to this, say like a portion of what they donated is now going to you to help the lighthouse, which is, for sight and whatever. I'm really big on giving to people that are in need. If I can, this is what I do. Some people don't do it, but don't compare yourself to me. Like my song opened up, I'm a motherfucking unicorn. My daughter loves that, by the way, but it's good to hear, like that same mentality from you. And is that expressed through Spider and I forgot his other name? Steven. Because Spider, you meet someone named Spider and you're like, oh shit, you throwing gang signs. Mark throws gang signs every once in a while. Like, live long and prosper. No.
So for me, and I want to say thank you to PNL. Yeah, those maps. I've had those for a few years now.
Sorry, I'm not on it.
I usually change the backdrop every so often. So it is what it is. But for me, I don't care if people donate, if they don't donate. It's, I don't put this stuff out there for money. Would I like to make money off of it? Of course. This is my time. And I feel like my time is valuable. And if that's to be, that's to be. I don't stress none of that. But for me, because my co-host, he's different than I am. He's almost a polar opposite of what I am. He's the curmudgeon-y old man, shakes his fist at the cloud, tells those kids to get off the sidewalk. But he's got a good heart. He's got a great heart. And so, we linked up, and, I appreciate his insight. He's well read as much as myself is. And so we just grooved. And then, because he's, it's me and him. And then our co-host, he came along been about 4 or 5 years now. We've been there for a minute. And he ended up just going ahead, and we had him on and as a guest. And then I'm like, I like what you're doing. Let's bring you back. And so it ended up being a full-time thing. And he does the show with us every Saturday night, and we have a great time. We laugh, and we don't take ourselves too seriously. And we never take ourselves too seriously because, this is all conjecture. A lot of the stuff we talk about is conjecture. I have no proof. I have no physical proof outside of what I've read and some of the things that I've seen, but I've never met aliens. Do I think they exist? Of course. There's the website right there. You guys can go click on that subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much. We got a lot of videos on there. I think we're up to like 300, 400 episodes at this point. We've been doing
404 episodes with 675. Let's get you guys to over 1,000. That would be great.
Well, the 464 isn't episodes. There's also our co-host Steven, he does his little, because I'm like, hey, I got a platform. We're gonna do it on YouTube. Jump on, do a show. You want to do a show? So he does the interns oddities.
You create
oddities now. So.
Yeah, you create your own little mini network and just do a show.
Of course.
That's how I, sometimes that's why one of the things I did was I was so sick and tired of people just sitting around like sheep, we the sheep.
I do want to say that link that BJ posted, that's my other YouTube channel. That's something completely different I'm working on. That's some biblical stuff I've been working on for close.
Is it all right if we share it on the screen?
Fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind that at all.
Yeah.
But you won't see this Uncanny Earth there because I'm doing something else with that. So I appreciate it regardless.
Speaking of religion, just 1 second, Mark. Do you know of Scott Walter?
No, off the top of my head, no. I apologize.
Okay. Earth. Jesus Christ, America Unearthed. He is a
geologist.
Yeah. He's a biologist, right? Or is it a theologist? Okay. So he had a show where they unearthed. He talked about the Kensington Runestone, the Newport Tower. He just was in upstate. They found a green jar there with writings from Jesus that contradict a lot of stuff. And I mean, he's a brother of mine in a fraternal sense. We're trying to get him on the broadcast. But what is your stance on the premise is that Jesus was whisked away, and eventually, going through Scotland, he went through the north and came down Oak Island, and his bones may be in this United States or North America to make New Jerusalem. Because you're saying theologian, and I don't know if that's part of it.
So for me, I don't buy into that whatsoever, but that's because of my belief system. I don't knock anybody who believes in it. I've heard stories. He also went to Japan, and there's some folks in Japan that say they knew him and saw him, not today, but writings that said they saw him. I've heard him go through, like you said, the UK, Scotland, down into America. I don't personally buy into that, but that's me. Like I said, I don't. India. I don't knock other people that do. If that's something that you believe, that's you. That's not me. And I'll always stand up for what I believe in. So if I don't, I'm not a person that goes with the crowd. If there's something like, yeah, I think this could be a possibility, I might say, that's not for me. But if that's something that you want to ascribe to, that's perfectly fine. Because it's not for me to disrespect somebody over what they believe until it starts veering into what I believe. And because like you said, I'm going to I'll give people all the respect that they give me. If you don't give me the respect, that's fine. Cause I'll cut you off and keep it moving. Nobody, no human is worth stressing out.
Right.
Unless it's your child. That's it. That's the only thing. That's the only time in my life I'm gonna stress over a human being, because that's my child. Other than that, I'm not gonna stress over that stuff, because my thing is there's so many theories out there, and not every theory makes sense. Not every theory is legit. But what I enjoy about people that propose these theories is that there's always some little nugget or bit of information that they have pulled this theory from, that now I can go pull on and see what I can understand from whatever time frame they got it from, whoever they got it from, that sort of thing. So
that's pretty interesting.
Thank you.
It's something that is most people don't do that. Like, I have my own personal relationship with what I call God.
Of course.
And I recognize what people call Jesus, who's really Yeshua, and that's a whole different ballgame. I don't want to get involved in a religious aspect, but part of what we do in the paranormal goes back to religion, and whether you like it or not.
Of course.
So, and the problem I have with, I was just on Tommy Cullum's show. I don't know if you know him, but the Let's Get Freaky podcast. He's out of the UK. And he was on my show a couple weeks back. But people are now putting in all this stuff with, if it's not Jesus, it's a demon. Aliens are demons. They're not Jesus, it's demon. And I will tell you something, it doesn't work that way, in my opinion. It's, before Jesus was here, the earth was void, and there were other creatures living on it besides the evil, Satan and all the evil, whatever, prowling to ruin the souls of man.
Fallen angels.
Well, fallen, yeah, they came, that was a bad idea on their part. Hi, speaking of which, no, not a fallen angel though, but a great guy, Undead Jet, welcome. So I don't think you could actually sit there and because of your religious belief, really be involved in this, because you're clouded by it's either Jesus or demons. Jesus or demons. Well, Bigfoot's not Jesus, so is he a demon?
Right.
The dog man is a demon. Some people will say, I've seen it up close and personal. Not my favorite, animal to a cryptid. Did not want to believe it was real. So I like that. That's kind of interesting. you think, is this going to be something, the new, whatever else you're working on now
Right.
that maybe go live? Do you think that you're going to be well received by your audience, or it's totally like, it's like a black and white thing?
So once again, this is something I'm doing for folks who are followers of the belief, like myself. So it's sort of, it's almost going to be like a Bible study where we all sit down and we all go over stuff, and I'm going to put some stuff out there and go off some things and discuss stuff like, the Nephilim or the Watchers, discuss things like, aliens
Right.
and Bigfoot, because I'm of the mind that if God created humans and everything else on the planet, that's not to say he couldn't have created aliens. I don't buy into the demonic aspect, because that's what everybody says about everything. Everything is demonic. Everything is this. Everything is that. And we run into a problem here when we start ascribing everything to a demonic source instead of just human failings, is the best way I could put this. So what we do is we say, okay, this is demonic, or this person is, demonically possessed. What people don't understand is demonic possession isn't Reagan spinning around with her head vomiting green pea soup everywhere. Demonic possession in and of itself is lusting after something your neighbor has, whether that be his wife, whether that be his money, whether that be anything else. Jealousy, that's demonic possession, because you're getting into things that are wicked. And mankind himself, we always want to put the blame on somebody else. Mankind hates taking accountability. I mean, mankind is a whole. I don't mean us.
No, you are spot on. Holy shit, yeah. No, like,
mankind does not want to take responsibility for the things we do. We want to put it off or pass the buck or say, that wasn't me. That was such and such. That's so and so. That's instead of stepping up to the plate as human beings and say, hey, we messed up. We messed up pretty big. We got to start working and fixing some things. But what they do is they just keep feeding negative information, whether that be via the TV, whether that be via social media. Social media is one of the biggest social engineering projects that have ever existed. It's the biggest thing that we've seen. We sit here and I miss when Facebook was just cat pictures and recipes from people. Those are my favorites.
Sorry.
Like, here's a recipe and here's a picture of my cat, and here's my grandmother's birthday party. That's what I like to see. But social media is Pandora's box. Once it's been opened, you can't put it back again. You can't stuff everything back in the box. And I was talking to a buddy of mine today about this. I said, man, I wish we were born I wish we were born a little bit earlier so that we could be old now and be like, man, this new generation is cooked.
when did you want to be born? Give me like a rough year.
I've had this conversation with people. And so for me, it would be, I would want to live at a time where I could still see the technological advancements of man, the internet, television. So I'm thinking if I could have been born in, like, I don't know, 50s, 60s, it might have been a little bit different. You know what I mean? Because you're going into technological aspects and framework that a lot of people don't understand. Social media didn't exist. There wasn't people like, because people will put their entire business on social media. Everything that they do. They'll be like, yeah, I got into a fight with my baby's dad, or my girlfriend left me. Like, I don't put nothing. You don't know nothing. You'll never find nothing about me on my social media accounts, because I keep my personal life personal. I don't put my stuff out there. I put my research. I put as some would say, I put good energy out there, because that's what I want to receive back. And if you put negative out, you're going to get negative back. I mean, that's just. This is common sense. This is social framework. This is psychologically, it's proven fact that if I walk up to you right now and say, hey, Brian, how's your day, man? How you doing? You doing good? You okay? Right. As opposed to me saying, man, you suck. You're going to get two different responses, right? And you're going to get the response you're looking for. See, me, I'm not that type of person. I don't go looking for fights. I'm not a tough guy. I don't go out here acting tough. I treat people with respect, because I want to be treated in turn with respect. So people get this idea of a person on social media. Like, I'm from a time and era where if you said something bad about somebody, you had to say it to their face. You couldn't get on Facebook and prattle off about somebody, because you had to deal with those consequences. They would come to your house, or you would go to their house and you say, hey, because 9 times out of 10, every time I've had a problem with somebody and I sit down with them and we conversate and we talk it out, we're usually cool by the end of that. And if we're not, we don't talk anymore. That's it. The world is such a vast, big place. I'm not going to get crazy over one person. You have to do something foul to me to make me want to come out of my shell, because I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to. I've worked too damn hard and too damn long to get to where I'm at to ruin it over 5 seconds of anger. So it's not going to happen. You call me all the names you want. You can say, oh, this and that and the other. But I know me, and my people know me, and my friends know me, and they'll vouch for my character every single day of the week.
I mean, I respect that. A couple of weeks back, maybe a couple of months ago, when we had Cool's Paranormal on, unfortunately, they didn't have they didn't have evidence to kind of show. So it's kind of hard if you're a paranormal team and you're talking about something. It would be better to have that. And so at that point, I have to be a host and pull things out or talk to make up. Otherwise, it's dead air. And I love these guys. Worst. These guys are great. I mean, they're all really, really great. And I got introduced to them through Mark Eddy. And at one point, I would ask questions. And yeah, I talk a lot. If you've ever watched an interview with me, I talk a lot. Ask anybody that's interviewed me that is on the right-hand side of your screen right now or scrolling. I talk a lot. I love when people go, can you do an hour? I'm like, that's it? Because by the time you start something, an investigation, it's going to take you an hour to get to a certain point, and then, whatever. The money shot ain't coming for about 1:45. So, you got to speed it up. Mark talks too much right now. Only joking, Mark. But I kind of blew it because we had somebody, hey, can you let them speak? You never let them speak. You're talking too much. And it was a new person here, and I kind of went off. And I don't normally do that, but I was having a bad day. And what people don't understand is Mark and I do not do an interview show. I think everybody in the chat knows that. I want to have a conversation with you, Robert, and Mark, and whatever, as if we're in your house, chilling out in your backyard, maybe have a drink in your hand, whatever. And then what happened? Holy crap. I want this to be that kind of conversation. Who the fuck wants to really watch an interview? And
I've seen them. I've been on shows. Yeah. I've been supplied a guest list or a question list and everything, and I'll do it. That's not a problem for me. But it's like if you make your show too rigid, you're not gonna draw that out, and it's just gonna be the most boring episode ever. Or if you're too lax, it's going to go completely off the rails, and you're not going to stick to that topic you were going to stick to. I don't mind going off the rails every now and again because I'll rein it back in. But I think you have to make people comfortable to be themselves, because if you're not and they're not, it's going to show. I had a guest on. It was a long time ago, and it was like watching paint dry. I'd ask a question and do follow-up questions, and they weren't having none of it. They're like, yes, no, sure. It's like, this isn't going well for you.
Yeah.
This time that I've allotted is your time. That's how I look at it. I look at all my guests. If you're on my show, that's your time. Let's talk about what motivates you, what drives you in this paranormal field, or what excites you about aliens. What books have you read? Things like that. And if somebody doesn't want that information pulled from them, they don't want it pulled from them. But then you learn, and you don't have that person back on. That's all.
Well, yeah. We had somebody that was a lot older. She's wonderful. She's a doctor, worked for NASA and stuff. And it was like, she was significantly older than me and my other buddy, Ron Murphy. It's like she's never had an interview before. And I know she's interacted, and so I'm getting text messages from Ron like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm dying here.
Here, I just want to show, here's a live
pterodactyl
of can you see?
Oh, nice. Right there. Let's go to it.
Saber-toothed tigers running across the yard. The cubs. I just thought the audience would like to see a live photo Okay, sorry.
No, I'm glad we broke from that to see that because I'm interested.
Yes.
You had me. Yeah, me interested. Let's go. Let's talk more about that.
Yes, Mark has these prehistoric animals and cryptids that come to him.
It's Mark. Are
But
you surprised?
no,
Like,
I am not surprised at all.
Surprised at all.
Actually,
Yeah.
just like that you had that guy on, you one of the co-hosts, and then he became a co-host. It's the same thing. That's how I met Mark Eddy. I was on Three Beards podcast several times. That's where I met Mark. He was wearing the big headphones, and I think he was wearing all white at one point. At one point, I'm like, "Holy crap, is that Princess Leia?" I mean, like, he had the, it was just like, so. But this is what's great about Mark. Mark and I, we can joke. We do. I mean, I just posted something where I swapped our faces about Tourette's, monkey balls, and this is what we do. Or I'm coming back from a conference, and I'm on the, whatever, it's 70 something, and I see this big sign, a silhouette, of a stripper on a stripper pole. Says strippers, need I say more? So I said, that's my next advertisement. Strippers, need we say more? Third Eye Live. This is what we do.
I'm just a Grizzly Adams wannabe.
He is Grizzly Adams, but I grew up in the era that you wanted to live in. So did Mark. So did a whole bunch of people here in this chat, and I can out each and every one of you. Yeah.
I still can't grow a beard.
Well, it's called shaving, Mark. Just try it one time. Cinnamon buns. That could be Mark's new nickname, Cinnamon Buns.
That'll be a stripper name.
Yeah, it would. It would be a stripper name.
There
But it was wonderful where there was no technology, no one spying on you, no one,
right?
Keyboard warriors or any of that stuff.
Right. I mean, listen.
And, yeah.
The one thing I love, and not to interrupt you, I apologize.
No, it's your time here. Someone said funny.
My thing is, it's a blessing and a curse. The internet is a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing that A, we could do this right here, or B, that I've had people on from different countries that I would have never met if I lived in that time period, or might not have met. So I get to see and hear firsthand experiences of people that have lived these things and lived through these things. I harken back. I had a professor on that was front and center for the Shinrikyo attacks in Japan, where they released sarin gas. It's one of my favorites. To this day, I sometimes just think like she's one of my favorites because it was an intellectual, somebody, because a lot of times most people that I talk to, we're all on the same level because we're all in the paranormal. We're all on the same level here. You might have read a book or two more than I have, but we're pretty much on the same level. She was above me. Like, and this isn't something that I say willy-nilly. She was above me. She had access to info that I couldn't get in 10 lifetimes. So to be able to pick her brain and sit there and just talk to her and say, "Hey, what do you think about this?" Because I'm very well versed in the Shinrikyo attacks. I always have been. Shoko Asahara, the cult leader. It was a whole process. It was a whole thing. I've done this.
Oh, I remember it.
So without the internet, I wouldn't have been able to talk to that person. And I got some news from her that I didn't read in a book. She interviewed the people that were part of this group and talked to these people. So she had firsthand experience that when I was looking at it, I was only looking at it from a research point of view. So for me, what's up, Ryan? How you doing? Ryan, me and Ryan's been on the show before. Ryan's a good dude. I haven't seen you in a while, Ryan. I hope you're doing good, my friend. Ryan's a good dude. Small world. Very small world, man.
He's a beardo guest.
Yes, he's a beardo guest.
Ryan's a good dude.
And the magic word for Ryan is Godzilla.
Oh, Godzilla's the best. me and Ryan have bonded over Godzilla before. We haven't talked much, but that's life,
Matter of fact,
what you would like.
I was actually wearing a Godzilla shirt one night because I knew he was going to jump into Three Beards. So, and I did a movie in high school called Godzilla: The Search with two other friends because I didn't want to write a paper, and it was a 6-foot blow-up Godzilla doll.
Nice.
And he was searching for beer and cigarettes. And then he finally finds them. We taped the cigarette to his mouth. We drank the beers before giving it to him, and then we slowly deflated him, and he went down. We put it to Blue Oyster Cult's Godzilla.
course.
So it was really, really cool.
There's no other song you really put that to. So
Well,
you gotta put
it worked out well because these two Asian kids come. They're a whole pack of like really young kids, and I see these two Asian kids, probably Korean or whatever. And I said, "Can I get you? You guys want to be in a movie?" And they're like, "Yeah." Run up the stairs, crazy, woo, and point behind you. Okay, great, got the shot. And I said, "Can you two go and say point Godzilla and look at the camera?" I'm like, "Whoop," and I looped it right at that spot where Godzilla has entered the city. So this is what we do. It's I mean, it's just very different these days. And you're correct. You get some guests that you would never have gotten if it wasn't for the internet. I mean, it still blows me away that I am known in a lot of different countries, like a lot of different countries. I get email from, I don't know how they get my email address, but it's Japanese and it's broken. You come show now. It's like, dude, you guys invented all this electronic shit. Can't you just go, send me something, and I'm more than happy to go on the show, but I don't have a translator with me. So, and I use Google Translate saying I'd be more than happy to be on your show, but I'm not going to understand what you're saying. And one guy said, translator. And I'm like, I don't have the money for a translator, And so that didn't work out just yet, but I'm going to try to figure out how to do that. That would be a cool feature for your show and my show and everybody else's.
Right.
To have a foreigner come up and then you could select that video screen and say auto translate, and then it would speak, and then after you said something, it would go, whatever, whatever you were saying, kind of like, I have a theory with a friend of mine that, what the hell, Stephen Hawking, wasn't really the genius. It was the guy that was with him, his companion, who was really the genius. And Stephen just looked the part. So like, oh, we're going to get all the sympathy, but I'll write down this shit. And then when I did stand up, I did a routine where Stephen Hawking goes into a bar and and his friend goes up there like, you have nice breasts, like, I'm just translating, man. Something like that or whatever it is. But I think this is great. So did you have an experience, or all of you guys have experiences individually in this paranormal field that propelled you into the podcast, or no?
So for me, no. I didn't have an experience until after the podcast. I've had a couple experiences, but it's nothing to where that I can't take my common sense deduction and deduce that it was something else. There's never been anything that I know of, except maybe like one or two incidences where it's like, I don't know what this could be. Most of the time when you hear a door close or you hear creaking doors, it's because you're in an old place, the foundation, it may not sit right. So that door sits on an angle, so it's going to close if it's not properly held ajar. Or it's little things like that, because I'm a respectful skeptic at first, because let's get all that out of the way. Once we get that out of the way, that's when the fun starts. If I can't figure it out, that's kind of where the fun starts, And I think for me, because I didn't have an experience really until 2021, no, 2020. It was I'm sorry. It was 2021. My bad. May of 2021. And I was at a place and I saw a black orb, and I saw it move from one side of the room to the other. A buddy of ours, he had a spirit box, good guy, Les Odell. I don't know if you guys know him, but he's a really good dude. Real big into the Bigfoot scene. Really, really nice guy. And he brought a spirit box, and it was shuffling. I kept hearing classical music. So the next day I was like, well, let me search the radio programs and see if there was any classical music on at that night, at that time, within so many miles of where we're at. No, there wasn't. I'm not saying that it couldn't have been, that it couldn't have reached out. Radio waves are weird like this. You can pick up some crazy, crazy far signals depending on the weather, So for me, that experience, hearing that and then seeing that, I was like, okay, there might be a little more to this than what I was thinking, But at the same time, I also think to myself, because our brain is a very powerful organ. It's the most powerful organ we have in our body. And I think sometimes with our brain, we kind of will things to happen, or we sort of push it so much that something has to happen. And, given the circumstances where we're at, it was a haunted location. Given, the people we're with, they were, paranormal investigators. And given the situation, it being nighttime, I'm like, okay, maybe my brain was playing tricks. I know what I saw, right?
Yeah. No. I'm with you on that. I was going to ask you, because this is always running through my head. You go someplace and and when I say they, multiple people, oh, that's really haunted. And you get there. And what part of your experience there is some kind of haunting or spirit activities, be it, residual or live action, versus your brain or your psyche playing tricks on you. It's hyping it up,
It's oftentimes what I like to refer to it as is, if you don't know something, and this is a test I would love to sort of introduce. It would worked out well before technology, but I think it's hampered a little bit by technology. If you take somebody that doesn't know anything about ghosts, not a single thing, and you take them to these locations, are they going to know it's haunted? Are they going to think something strange? Are they going to have strange occurrences? Or do these strange occurrences only happen when we ourselves, who have already been inundated with it, we already know the paranormal field. We know how a lot of this stuff works. We've seen the shows. We've read the books. We've done this, that, and the third, right? So for us, we are expecting it to happen. You know what I mean? That's for me, that's what it means. Is like, okay, if we didn't know any of this, would we still see the things that we see, or are the things that we see premeditated because our mind's already focused on that point? Because a lot of times,
right,
with a lot of these haunted locations, there's a lot to them. That, they have horrid pasts. I've been to Mansfield Reformatory a couple times on ghost hunts and things. And I don't see nothing, but I don't go into it. I never go into a haunted location expecting to see anything. To be honest, I'm that guy that just likes being in the old building and just seeing history of what it used to be. If there's not a ghost, whatever, at least I got to walk around this cool abandoned building for, such and such a time, because the history is the most important part, in my opinion. If you don't learn the history of an area, you're going to fail every time, because you're not going to be able to get in with people that are the locals, because the locals already don't like the riffraff coming in, especially in the influencer age that we live in, where personal property isn't respected. I will go on to say this, that I know, I've been to the Flatwoods Monster place where the sighting happened and where things like that happened. And I trespassed. I'm not going to lie to you. I was a lot younger then. I was a lot younger then. So I was a little more brash, a little more bold. But now I realize as I'm older, that was wrong. I shouldn't, I should have got permission. I should have asked, but I was young and stupid. Right.
Yep.
So I've changed from that. I don't do that anymore. If my friends are like, hey, let's go explore this abandoned building. Okay. Are we permitted to go there? Or is this going to be one of those things where the cops are going to chase us? I'm too old for the cops to be chasing me. I'm not doing that. I don't do that. I respect people's personal property. If I don't own the place, I have no right to be there. If I'm not invited there, I have no right to be there. And I will always treat it as such. Now, if somebody says, hey, I own this building, I want to know if it's haunted, can you guys come check it out? Of course, I'd be more than happy to check it out. But as far as just trespass or intrude on somebody's personal space, that's how people get hurt. That's all I need is to fall and get hurt. And then not only am I going to the hospital, but I'm probably going to get fined, or I'm probably going to, go to jail. Maybe not so much in this day and age. Probably just slap me with a fine and be like, get out of here. But who knows? It depends. It depends where you go. It depends where where they catch you.
It depends if they want tickets or they want a revenue. But I can tell you this. You mentioned Zach Baggins or whatever. I've been to Letchworth Village numerous times, and technically you're not allowed in the. You kind of can. I mean, there's an opening, but it's really closed off. Right. It's 28,000 square acres. Every part of that shit is haunted. I mean, we had some really weird things there, and you could kind of feel it, especially if you have abilities. There's a couple questions. Keep this in mind. Do you have any type of psychic abilities besides the God-given ones or that you're aware of, but they will arrest your ass in a heartbeat. You're going to get a trespass, and I will tell you, these fines go up. You do not want to be arrested on a Friday night in any town because you ain't getting out till Monday night.
No, and don't let there be a holiday because the judge, he ain't gonna be there till Tuesday. You're lucky if he'd be there at all.
Yeah,
So I agree,
yeah.
100%. You know, I that's why I don't do that stuff. I stopped doing that stuff when I was a kid. Now, I mean, and this is what I tell people as well: if you don't ask, you don't know. I mean, the worst thing somebody could say to you is no. And so
Right.
if you're always prepared for somebody to say no, you're never let down. I've never once been let down by that. Like, because if they want to say no, they can say no, and then I have to abide by that. It's not my property. It's not my place. I don't own it. You know, if I owned it, then
Right.
I would explore all day. But I don't, and I'm not going to intrude out of respect. You know, I'm a respectful person. I won't do that. to somebody.
And I will say before we get to this question here, if you know of a property and you know, you could ask for permission, but another way you can say it is, you know, there's a lot of people that try to trespass on your property. Why don't you just talk to your lawyers, put up an indemnification, have people pay and reserve it to go investigate, and they pay you $100 a night. Now you're making money and you're protecting yourself. You know,
because as long
people would, they would love doing that. Like, what do you mean I can make $100? Yeah, go. Yeah, and then you know you could promote it, and then you get a little more access to it. But you're going to let me go for free.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is like, okay, if I'm helping you, you know, help me out. You know, let me come and investigate. Right. Let me check things out. If I'm bringing you revenue, that's a respectful thing because that's what I would do. Like, yeah, you come on. You know, I'm where I'm at right now. Come on. You know, bring a couple of your friends and come on.
Yeah, Greg says more like 500 a night, but. Yeah, I mean, you got to start someplace, and $100 for some of these old timers, pretty good money. And if you get an indemnification type of clause where, you know, like you're responsible, you're not suing shit,
right?
And as long as they have ID with it, it's on you. But before we go ahead, Mark, you were saying.
Yeah, Rob.
Sir.
You were talking about, you know, one of your guests was really above you in understanding the Japanese material. I forget the topic. But do you find that now that you know the COVID is, you know, been going on. Do you find that more people have wanted to discover the truth more than almost at any other time in their, in recent history? That there's more of a sincere spiritual quest going on that was not present prior to 2019?
That is a fantastic question. The one thing I will say, I think people hunger for the truth, but I think we are in such an era of instant gratification, whether that be TikTok, whether that be Instagram, whether that be Facebook Reels. We're getting inundated with information consistently, and it's hard to ascertain what's true and what isn't. As much as we all love to go with that gut feeling, you know, there's people that research this stuff for a living. This is what they do, right? This is something that they do. So when somebody has an expertise in that field, I'm going to see what they have to say. Do I have my own opinion about things? Of course I do. Of course I think I'm a human being. Of course I got my own opinion about things. But I think that my issue with 2020, and I'm not gonna turn this into anything. It took us out worse than it brought us in. It made us worse as a society, as a civilization, as human beings. They're weird now. People are weird. You know, they don't know how to act. You know, in that small time frame from when the lockdowns happened to when the lockdowns were released, people didn't know how to cope. People didn't understand it. And I'm like, I'll just go work out. I ain't got to be in the gym. I'll go lift. I got weights. I'll go work out. I'll get my mind right first. So I think people wanted more so the search for that truth of what happened during that time and what was going on instead of the broader truth. I think people, because we had a lot of people that clung to certain fringe conspiracies and things like that. And, a lot of conspiracies end up being true. There's some things that I personally don't think that are true, but that's me. And if people want to believe that, once again, that's your own bread and butter. But I think it took us out from where we could have been in that. And I think people's search for the truth, I think really with all that, Mark, I think that really started to explode more so on like 2010, because even pre-virus, people were still going out in droves and doing ghost hunts and things like that. So I chalk a lot of that up to like ghost adventures. I know I wanted to start exploring stuff because I saw these three dudes going to abandoned places and exploring. I've always liked exploring abandoned buildings, but to be able to do it and see if there's anything there, I was like, oh, these guys are doing something really cool. That's what's up. I want to do something similar. I want to have fun with that.
Right.
But, and that's a good point. I don't think air is true. I've never seen it. And that's a good point until it's cold outside and you see your breath, until you see that condensation. I think there's some things that are without a doubt. You can't, like you said, air, oxygen is there, or else we would all be dead. It's what we breathe. It's what we breathe in. So I think
gravity.
Right. Some things you have to take on that. Okay. On the faith aspect of it, this is something that is going down. However, I'm a person who doesn't trust the government. I don't care who's in charge. I've done enough dirt digging in my life, and I've done enough research in my life to show that when the government steps in, we're here to help. They're not here to help. They're never here to help. They're here to make it worse. The government's like summer school, right? You want to go to school in summertime. You want to be home. You want to be out swimming or playing with your friends. You want to go to summer school. The government is the equivalent of summer school. And I don't trust either parties. I'm not a party person. I go off what I've read, what people have put out, documentation, things like that. So for me, it saddens me that we came out of that worse when we should have came out of that as better people. We should have been rallying together as people and really linking together and searching for that truth. But instead, we were further divided. And so that is going to complicate us finding the truth, because if we're too busy fighting with each other, right, nobody's going to be like, man, I need to go out and do this and do this. No, I don't like that person. I don't care what they say. You could be the top researcher in your field, right? And we live in the court of public opinion. That's a big thing these days, court of public opinion. Yeah. You don't like something somebody else likes, oh, that's it, you're done. And they will form battalions to go after you. And I'm like, if you don't like what I'm saying, you better buckle up, because I'm going to keep saying some more things you don't like. I don't care.
Amen.
I don't care. You come for me if you want to. It's not in your best interest, but whatever. I'm not a tough guy. I just want to get the truth out and talk to people and tell people this is how, this is the research I've come up with. This is the research that I've done. And a lot of my research is available. It's out there. It's on the show. It's also, I put some notes out there in different places, because the stuff that I work on, I want everybody to know about it. I don't want to keep it to myself. It's not doing me any good just keeping it to myself. So if I get it out to other people and they get out to other people, then we all start kind of learning together, and we can all start growing together, because it's us against them. That's all there is to it. And there's not much of us right now.
This is interesting, because you started off a bunch of minutes back about growing up in a different era that didn't have the internet. And that is very important to what you just stated. I grew up in that time.
Yeah.
Call it Gen X. And in Gen X, we didn't have the video games. We went to movies and we could recite. We had movie trash mouth. Don't get us wrong. But we also had to learn how to read, write script. I mean, we really had to, there was no freebies with us. It wasn't a summer of fucking love like some of those people in the 60s doing weed and dope and, let the sun shine. I mean, I hate when they say we drank from the hose. No, we were built differently. We took care of ourselves. We had real friends, not associates, and that's different. Even women had more real friends. Now, during COVID, well, guess what, folks? If you read and you kept, I have so much shit going on. Like I have weather stuff going on, earth changes stuff going on, human here, news here from at least 20 different sources. Boom, 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 boom. Then I'm into the sciences. I almost was a doctor. So I'm getting white pages of shit. And I remember 20 something years ago reading Dr. Robert Malone's white paper. That's all I'm going to say about it. And I started going, I remember I'm on a trading floor, mind you. And I'm like, oh my God. Wow. And they're like, what are you reading? I said, I'm reading about this new medical technology and it may be the magic bullet. And then I kept reading and reading. I'm like, oh, and then it gets to the good part that he invented the current. I'm not going to mention it because I'm going to get fucking banned.
Right. You got to be careful.
Stuff that was put in things that were put into people. Yeah. And they're trying to put into everything now, not just, but food, meat. Okay. They're trying to screw you. And in the end, everybody that took this, I'll give you an example. If you're predisposed for 5 different types of diseases, breast cancer, bone cancer, whatever, leukemia, blah, blah, whatever it is. But 3 of them are locked, right? That means your body's saying, yeah, you have all these, but we're going to lock this away. Okay? So these 2 are the ones that come out, usually later in life, breast cancer, leukemia, whatever it is. Okay, if you're predisposed for 5, after this crap that they lied about, not only did these things explode, went crazy, the 3 that were locked were instantaneously unlocked and blew up worse than the other 2. Do you understand? Every test subject died. And I'm sitting there going, oh my God. And they're like, what's going on? And I'm like, oh my. And then when I explained it to them, because we can have a dialogue back then, Robert.
Of course.
Really? Would you read this? And then you could say, oh, it's in this article, whatever. Some people took interest, but, depending on your workload, you're like, look, dude, I got a trade I got to do. Okay, whatever. If you read that 20 years ago, and I was screaming at people, don't do this. And no one listened. What happened during the lockdown period was fear and psychological operation.
Yep.
My youngest daughter is still fucked up from that shit. She started heart palpitations. This is what's happened to our world.
Yeah.
Put a mask over your sweetheart. The mask ain't going to do shit for you. Okay. They took the common flu and they made it the boogeyman. And anybody that spoke out about it got shit. And if we listen to what was done, which someone in my family is taking right now, hydroxychloroquine, and something else, ivermectin, we would have been out of the whole thing in under probably under 30 days, but definitely under 60. That event, the only thing that came out of that was good is Mother Nature took care of herself. And that's another thing. We ain't saving this planet. She'll do a good job on her own. I'm just going to tell you. So I hear what you were saying there, and I'm just like, it's really cool to hear someone who's like, you would have loved growing up in that time period. Because one, depending on how cool your mother's or your parents' network was, they knew shit about you all the time. Where were you today? Oh, I was at the library. Oh, you weren't down at the railroad tracks throwing shit and like oh fuck. They knew, right?
Yeah.
But now it's just everybody sees shit online and they think it's real and think you're going through it. They think it's about them. I love shit like that. I love shit like that. You know how many people have come to me and said, "You're writing about me, right?" And I'm like, no. Don't take what I say seriously. That's why I post a lot more jokes and anything like that. And I've gotten banned because I was telling the truth, which I'm sure, I don't know if you ever got the social media ban. You know, you got kicked off, you put in a Facebook timeout or jail. Like I got put in that a couple of times and it was like 24 hours. And then it went like 48 hours. Then it went to like, 72. And when dude, 76 fucking days. 76 days. And that's part, because I'm telling the truth. I'm trying to protect people from doing something to hurt themselves.
Right.
But now, and then I get shit from people like, why can't you just say what you want to say? I'm like, I got to breadcrumb you. But I tell everybody, take everything I've posted, read it all at one time. You'll get what I'm telling you, and it'll tell you where to go. But people don't want to look for the answers. They want to believe that the house is haunted. They want to believe that now there's werewolves everywhere and they transform from man into some other shit. That's a new thing. They believe that the guy Roger was at LBL. Bullshit. The Patterson Giblin, that's fake. It was made up. And prior to that, there was a big battle between Bigfoot and humans, and it's all bullshit. Everybody's trying to one up the next fucking guy or woman. It's all crap.
And it's crazy because I've met Bob Gimlin in person. I met him at Creature Weekend in Cambridge, Ohio, years ago. I'm a fairly decent person about reading people. That man, there was nothing in that man's face, eyes, movement, motions that said that video was fake. Not one single iota.
Yep.
And if it is, he got a great poker face. So for me, it doesn't hurt to be kind to people. And the one thing that I've always said, being kind has never let me down. I know a lot of people that say, well, it's let me down because you let it. You go into it. See, a lot of people will say, well, being kind let me down because you expected it to be given back to you. I don't expect anything. I'm not kind because I want it back. If it comes back to me, awesome. I would love it to. But I'm not going to be kind to somebody just so that I can to receive that kindness in return. That's not why I do it. I do it because you never know what somebody's going through. You never know what they're going through. And a nice word or a respectful tone can change an entire person's demeanor like this, And so for me, it's like, people go on political diatribes. They'll go on, the lockdown diatribes. And I'm just like, hey, y'all believe what you want to believe. I know what I saw. I know what I witnessed. I know what I lived through. People have taken these one things, politics or the epidemic or the pandemic, whatever, and they've made it their entire personality. So you don't even know who they are anymore. They're just a shell of a person that spews the same thing that all these other people spew. And it's like, where is the real you? Where's the real you? You've buried it so deep under all of this rubble. You continue to dig down and you're just getting covered in rubble. And then you wonder why you don't have a lot of friends or you don't have a lot of people that like you or you're in constant fighting. Do I disagree with people all the time? I mean, me and my co-host, we have some great disagreements, but he's my friend. Yeah. And I love him like a brother. I will debate anybody. We can have a conversation, but the minute you turn disrespectful is the minute I'm like, okay, you win. You won, buddy. You won a debate with a guy from Ohio. Good job, but nice job. I'm not going to stoop to your level so that you can one up me for stooping to that level. Because as soon as I do, you're going to be like, see how he's treating me? Look how he's treating me. No, I will always take the high road, and it's just words. You want to take it past words? That's okay. We can take it past words, but I don't want to. So I'm going to avoid that conflict as much as I can until you put me in a position where now I have to show you that side of me that I like having fun. I like kicking it. I like hanging out with people and being friendly and talking. That's it. I'm not here to start fights. I'm not here to get in arguments. I know some folks in the community And this was a while back, and I won't say their names. I'm not gonna give them free promotion.
Yeah.
They didn't like me off jump. They didn't know me from Adam.
Yeah, but yeah.
But because of an interview I did with someone, right? That turned south because the person that he was seeing, I was like, hey, why don't you shout her out? Y'all too, and he did. Well, that didn't go over well because her husband found out from the show, and they went at it, and he didn't like me after that. I'm like, well, bro, if you wasn't trying to hide what you was doing, you just would have been honest with yourself, honest with everybody else. I'm not the bad guy here. I'm just the guy that was trying to help you to show love to people you love, and but you know what? Don't care about those people. They have nothing on my life. There's nothing that they can do that would upset me. Oh, you said some hurtful words. Or you made some sly social media disses. Okay, do that when you see me. When you see me, come up to me and say those same things, and we can have a conversation. That's it. Just if you're gonna have that energy on social media, have that same energy when I run into you or we run into each other, because the paranormal circle isn't as big as a lot of people think it is. We run in the same pack. So at some point, you're going to have to talk to me. And because I'm not going to be mean, I'm going to be like, hey, how you doing? I won't rock with you, but I'm not going to be disrespectful to stoop to your level so that you can one up me with all that. I'm good. I stopped being in high school when I graduated. And that's where that's
That was just like, I have to pull Mark back sometimes because he does that, but
Mark will get you into a bar fight real quick. You
no
gotta be careful,
shit.
Mark, boy. You gotta be woo.
Yeah, he's the friend that like we're being shot at because of you, Mark.
Yeah,
I'm only joking.
And he's T-heeing and shooting back. You're like, Mark, I didn't even get a shootout today. He's like, well, that's too bad.
Hold me back, and I'm holding him back, and he's putting the pimp hand up, but
he's strong too, so he's gonna break free of that hold. He's
wiry. You kind of can't get him.
He's like a spider monkey. He's like a spider monkey.
I was telling that cop yesterday after you got pulled over. Monkey balls.
Monkey ball.
And he said, I was telling this cop I'm like, Mark, you don't have to lean into that persona if you don't want to, but by all means, we've given you that. See, we've made his ego huge off of this. Now you're gonna go start. His hand gonna be strong today. I tell you, I feel bad for anybody that crosses this man's path.
I'll tell you, he's a tough cookie. Actually, I don't know if you've actually saw it, but I'll play it in a second. I'm just transferring it to my device at this point. But we do this shit all the time. I'll be on there just scrolling, whatever. I promote hilarious. My show, and then I was scrolling, and I saw this, and I'm like, fuck yeah, we're putting this on there. So I'm going to add it to it. But yeah, I mean, like I always had proper manners. I've been through a lot of shit. Got the hell beaten out of me by my mother for whatever reason. I wasn't, my older brother, my younger brother, middle child. It's not a syndrome. I got fucked up. I did a lot of my own thing. And you get to a point where you're traveling a path. And then the path is going to Y on you. And I can go this way right here. And I'm either going to be dead, in jail, or both. Yep. Or I can go this way. And I choose to go a different path. And I tell everybody, I'm very, again, like I said, I'm a really great person who can be a wonderful, like, oh, he's really a nice guy. The nice guy, I could be that. But I could be a motherfucker too. You have no idea. Because if you get me to the point, like you said, Robert, where I'm riled up enough and the Russian side of my family comes out, there is not a place on this earth you can hide that I will not find you. And then everything's off. And I'm not fighting over the paranormal. Too many people bring up this shit in the paranormal. Like, what is wrong with you? We're talking about mystical shit that we can't even prove. And we like, you're fighting over this? You know what? The special bus to school? You're fucking right there in the front row of that bus.
That's the sad thing too, is because I have tried to work with researchers and they're so tight-lipped. And they're like, well, who knows you and who can verify you? I'm like, I can verify myself, sir. You don't need nobody to verify me. You want to check my credentials? Go to my site, watch my podcast, see what I'm about. If you don't like it, cool. I don't care. I don't care. A wink of sleep. over another human being unless it is my child. That's the only being on this planet I will ever lose sleep over. Ever. That's it.
Yeah. I have 2 daughters.
Oh.
And when I go to the range, I tell this to everybody. I go with a buddy of mine who is a sniper for SWAT. When I shoot, I don't shoot center mass. I grew up right here. Right here.
Yeah.
No bigger than $50, folks. And I'm sending like 22 rounds down boom, every time. And I could do it right-handed or left-handed. And it scares the shit out of everybody, Robert, on the range. They're like, you like the headshots. I'm like, I don't want you getting up. If I have to pull, right. And my kids know it, I'm not going to have a penis collection. I'm going to eliminate you. That is my flesh and blood. I created it. Right. I loved it the first time someone, they took out the stick. We're pregnant. I just instantaneously had unlimited love for this person.
Right. Right.
Who's a pain in the fucking ass. Who? What'd you say?
Plaster caster.
Ah, nice.
She has a penis collection, but
yes, she does. If you know her, get her on both of our shows because I'm sure. Rob, you want to co-host that one?
Hey, I'll be down. I'll be down.
So this is the video that I posted today. So I'm gonna play it for everybody. It's coming up.
License and registration, please.
There you go.
Monkey testicles.
Hi. Hiya.
Sorry about that.
That's okay, sir. What's going on there?
Nothing. Tourette's. Why did you pull me over?
Well, when you returned it, you didn't.
Unpaid parking tickets.
No, I've already
unpaid.
I've already paid all my parking tickets.
Hallelujah!
No.
Well, he doesn't agree. I think I'm gonna have to run your information.
That's fine.
Elephant butthole. Elephant butthole.
So yeah, I'm sorry. I'll use a blinker next time.
Sir, is he intoxicated?
No, he's got drugs.
Ooh. Drugs in the trunk. Drugs in the trunk.
Peggy.
There's no drugs in the trunk.
There's drugs in the trunk.
Sir, you gotta understand.
Piggy, boinky, boink.
I'm gonna have
no drugs in the trunk. There's no drugs in the trunk.
I'm gonna have to search the vehicle.
Boinky with the piggy and the poinky, boink, boink.
No drugs in the trunk.
Just get out of the vehicle.
And this is what we do. And I have a couple of friends that have Tourette's. It's fun. We love them, and we treat them like human beings. And everybody makes fun of everybody. See, that was the difference in our generation too. Like, it didn't matter. Everybody's mother got made fun of.
Of course.
No one's fighting over anything. The only thing you had a little bit of a problem on is when people had, like in high school, and they had like really expensive kicks, as they say. Back in the 80s, I'm waiting for Oregon Bigfoot Fades or Yeti Audio Sounds rap name. But if you like, yo, bro, you got my Adidas, and then fights could ensue depending on who it was. Oh, yeah. And then we had, I got to be honest, the Spanish girls were a lot tougher than the Spanish guys. They will F you up in a heartbeat. They don't. And then they got, I'm not playing. Boom, 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 boom. And it was just like, oh shit, she's going to smack. And they would, it was just, there was no, women were always evil to each other. I'm sorry, ladies. You guys are just fucking bad for each other. I can't believe she's wearing that outfit. If guys have a problem with each other, we can still hang out with each other, but we just won't talk to each other. And then over time, if we find out that someone else has like caused this shit, watch how quickly we can reconcile in a friendship. It's just the weirdest thing. But yeah, we do videos like that.
I mean, I'm not surprised. Not surprised. It's Mark. Like,
it is Mark.
You got. I feel bad. Anybody got to pull. If I'm in the car with Mark and pull him, I'm just gonna run. I'm gonna take my chances and see what happens that way. Because being with Mark, he's gonna get sour real quick. They're gonna call the ATF. They're calling the feds. They're calling the SWAT. If I run, that's all right. I'll be like, yeah, he was crazy in the car. He was crazy. I was scared for my life. I had to run.
I'm telling you, he's gonna drop a few F-bombs and a few mother F-bombs. He's
Yeah.
probably going to call them piggies, just like that guy was. It's going to be.
He's gonna
bad
take his
situation.
shirt off. He's gonna start trying to square up with the cops. Like, bro, we just it's just a parking ticket, bro. Chill.
Yeah, chill, just like doing monkey balls. But I wanted to get to this question while we had here. Do you think some places have been over investigated? Because that's been on for about 45 minutes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't see that.
No. We had it up, but
100%.
our conversation was going. I'm not going to interrupt
Right.
I'm not going to interrupt shit. Just like throwing a question, whatever. But
Yes, I do. I think a lot of places are oversaturated with investigations. I think places like Mansfield, for instance, I didn't see a lick of things when I did it overnight, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be the coolest thing ever!" I get to walk around an old prison overnight and like get to go investigate. I mean, I didn't like the ghost thing was cool, but in my head, I'm like, "Nah, there's too many people. There's not enough breathing space for anything to happen. There's just gonna be a bunch of people yelling and walking around." There's probably like 50 to 100 people there. So for me, it was like, you know what? I'm just going to come here and enjoy the history. I'm a big fan of enjoying the history of places.
I love history. That is the key there. It's like, I do have abilities. I do remote viewing. I have all the other shit. And that's what I use on investigations. We do it before. And, so I've had people say, oh my God, I'm not going. That room is super haunted. And I've gone in. I'm like, no, it's just filled with lead paint. Were you eating it when you found out it was haunted? Although we went, there is a place in Emmaus in Missouri, Marysville. Is it Marysville or Marthasville? I don't know. It was Greg's birthday that night. So Greg from Relic Films Media. And we went in there and there was one area I didn't really feel anything. I didn't feel any.
Could be Natalieville.
It could be Natalie. She's tough, but I was with her and everybody else, and there was one room upstairs. There were like these quiet cells, isolation rooms, and one of them had the person that was in there put their head through the little hole there, like he was pissed because he was locked up 24/7, and I kind of felt like I do the same damn thing. So I had a little bit of sympathy for him, but I was like, okay, cool. I went home after, whatever we did there. And as I'm driving back down to Arkansas to wherever my hotel is, I'm kind of talking to a friend of mine and I'm like, ooh, I'm like tired and a little bit more out of focus. And I'm like, he just drones on and it's all negative and droning. And then a buddy of mine calls up, Cisco, and I see it. I'm like, oh, my savior's here because I can get off this call, So she goes, what's up, Bowden? What's going on? Nope, I've sensed something. And she does it all the time. Certain people, I don't know if you have that, but we're connected. Like when we feel something, we'll contact you. Right off the bat, like, what the fuck's going on, dude? I know something's going on. Tell me. And I rebuked everything. She told me to rebuke everything. And I swear to God, I heard something go bing in the back of my car. And instantaneously, I was lighter and awake. And I'm like, holy shit, I got jumped. That fucker he jumped me because he liked the fact that I was the only one probably coming in there that was sympathetic to him. So I agree with you though. I just love the history of it. I went to Pace University and do you remember Horace Greeley? Go West, young man?
Somewhat, yes.
Okay. Well, he lived over there.
Personally.
I was in the building where he said go. They said go West, young man. I was on the property where the Kellogg's retreat was, where flakes were created, and everybody's walking around thinking it's just a school. And I'm like, do you understand what went on here?
Right.
That's like for example, I don't know if they were on your show, but we had Dan and Teresa Duke, the great grandkids, Jesse James.
Oh, nice.
And it's like, boom. I was like, holy shit. Like, and then you find out from just what he was doing and, the real truth. And it's just like, I love that stuff. I'm a firecracker baby. I'm a Freemason. So no, I'm not the Illuminati, but born on the 4th of July, grew up on Independence Avenue. straight across from where George Washington Fort Number 1 is in the New York area. And I live for the history, you know. So, so I love that aspect of what you've been saying for the most part. Speaking of history, Yeti Audio Labs, also known as Oregon Bigfoot Fades, asked, do you think the moon landing was real? I know this is totally out of the fucking blue, but I wanted to ask the question for her.
Yes, without the shadow of a doubt. Anybody that says otherwise, I'm going to put it to bed real quick. If it didn't happen, Russia, China would have been all over us like flies on honey. They'd have been all over us. They'd have been all over us. That, and this is what people, so when I say this is what I think. Yes, we've been there. We've been there a couple times. It's what we found there is why we didn't want to go back. There's something there. I don't know what this is. I have no idea what it could be. In some instances, they say there's a pyramid there. Obviously, I don't live on the moon. I live here, unless you guys don't know that really outside my door is the moon. It's possible. You guys don't. You have no idea.
Right.
But with me, no. I definitely believe it existed because of things like Russia, China, that didn't care for us. And let that leak out. Let it leak out that we didn't go to the moon. Russia would have been all over that because that was a space race. We were all racing to see who was going to get there first. So yes, I do believe you've been to the moon. It's possibly been to other planets. That I can't 100% say for sure, but I think the government knows a lot of things we have no clue about. The technology the government has, from some of the research I've done, is 25 to 50 years ahead of what we have right now. There's things like reverse engineering and stuff like that we've done. And a lot of that, space tech that we have, so for me, yes, and a lot of people say, oh, you're this and that. No, I'm just a person who's read some books and come to some common sense conclusions and, understand how foreign policy works and how, other countries work, how Russia and United States work, their animosity toward each other, our animosity with China. So the biggest, because you want to humiliate your enemy. That's it. And what better way to humiliate your enemy than to go and say, they never went there. Here's proof. They never went there. A lot of people say, well, in Stanley Kubrick's studio, tee-hee-hee. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Right. What about the wind and all that and the flag? And I'm like, you have no idea what you're talking about right now. You're just pulling on strings that people that don't study anything have been pulling on for decades plus. And it irks me. And I'll tell you why it irks me, because that is one of the most awesome things I would want to do with my life. If somebody said, hey, let's go to Mars right now, give me about 6 months to train first, because I don't know how I would do well with gravity. But I would go in a heartbeat. I would go to space in a heartbeat. Better in space than deep in the ocean. I'll say that much. I'd rather be deep in space. But for me, it's the fact that this is why we can't, as human beings, we'll never get along because of stuff like this. And I'm not saying because of that question, mind you. I think that's a fantastic question to ask, and I'll answer it. I'm not gonna mess around with it and be like, well, no. I'll tell you straight up, that is nonsensical. We have been to the moon.
Yep.
We have been to the
moon.
I won't.
Yeah. Bamora says Stanley did the photo shoot just in case the landing went wrong. That's exactly what I think.
That's interesting.
I believe that you always have to have a backup. You have to have a plan A and B. Yep. If we failed, there had to be a movie version of it. Yep. Because NASA controlled everything. Yep. And to say, hey, we did it. And I think what happened is, because I know somebody that was there working on some of the telemetry and some other stuff. He was this great guy named Chris. He had the diner by us, and he has images. He worked in the NASA control room. Yep. And he goes, I said, Chris, did we actually go? Because that's the big question. He goes, 100% we went.
Yes.
I know we went. But what happened at the end when, they got all this data, all this video on, would be big reels, not like video cassettes, but it'd be a reel of film. Yeah. And then they had the Kubrick stuff. and I'm pretty sure they converted it from one format to another. And whoever did it, you got a big box of A and B there, and you just converting it, throw it in the box, converting it, throw it in the box,
Yep.
and now you don't know what's real and what's fake.
Yep. And
so now it mixed in.
And that's what it is for me too. I think it's more of what we saw up there that we wanted no business of seeing. That to me is more real than saying we didn't go.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, it's my whole thing too with people is, so let me get this straight. You think that out of all the employees NASA has hired, right? We're talking top level all the way to the bottom. They're all in on it, right? And not one person, not one time has come out and said, no, it's all fake. It's not real. I mean, if somebody has, please, by all means, let me know. And I will check that out. But I've yet to see that come to fruition. So you mean the janitor's in on your big conspiracy too? Is the janitor in on it? Janitor he just mopping the floor like, you can't wait to tell these people we didn't go to the moon. What?
Exactly. And it's the same thing. And I'm not going to get into debate. I'm not going to ask you if you believe it or not, Robert.
No, I appreciate that.
But there's flat Earth or round Earth, and you hear all this shit, and you're like, so what you're telling me is, we can't get along on a ton of shit, but we get along on Antarctica because it says something fucking there. We know that something there that's universal.
There's something there for sure, 100%.
And we can't tell you that the Earth is actually flat. It's a plane. And I kind of go with because I studied physics, I studied astronomy, I studied engineering, and there are points which is really weird because it makes your brain think. But I got kid stuff I got to deal with. You know, sometimes thinking doesn't work when you're a parent. You know, it's
not at all.
What Chekhov was saying, okay, kids, let's go. You know, and you just stop midstream. But sometimes you have the sun up, and then you have the moon. You can see the moon. And you're like, well, in theory, if you can see the sun and the moon, when the moon's supposed to be at another point behind the planet or whatever it is, in theory, that would kind of almost semi-prove that the Earth is more flat than round. And then I say, well, no, because if it's revolving, eventually they're going to cross, and eventually they will be visible in certain spots. So, but people, this goes back to what I said. Back in the day, we read things. We took Geo 101. We're not having global climate change, folks. It's called an Earth cycle. It happens every 26,000, 27,000 years. The pole shift, you know, what's the North Pole becomes, you know, west or east, or becomes the South Pole. Shit melts and the other stuff gets cold again. It's been proven with ice cores. So.
The Antarctica was a lush region at one point.
Yeah.
So
just like
fossil evidence,
right?
Yeah, the fossil evidence supports that dinosaurs were living on Antarctica.
Well, this is why with Mark, your book, I forgot the title. What's the title again about your first one? Your first book's title?
Not Hungry Old Critters.
No, not Hungry Old Critters that you did for when you were on the show, which was great. The actual
Lakes, Lizards, Linton, and Leverett.
What he's doing for West Virginia is the same thing. He's really bringing it to the forefront. There are powers that be that don't want you to know there's some big time shit in Antarctica. I remember, actually, if you go back to the day when you wanted to exist, Robert, I remember having to go to the library to do research, doing decimal system card kit, right? And I remember, there, you know, when you get into a public library system, a lot of their encyclopedias are motherfucking old.
Very old.
And I remember my dad worked for Britannica. I think it was Britannica. We had a set of encyclopedias. That was like your claim. We've got a full set of encyclopedias, right? I remember opening up and seeing pictures of Antarctica, and there are ionic columns there and like structures and shit there. And now you can't find it. because it was, they had the 1950 something books there where they didn't edit anything. And then I remember getting my first computer, the Commodore, not the Commodore, Compact or something like that. And that's when they had the CD-ROM, and it had a virtual encyclopedia. And I said, oh, this is really bad, because these people are going to start manipulating the real info.
Yes. And especially with AI. You have no idea what you're looking at. Project Bluebeam, another one. You have no idea what you're seeing in the sky.
Yep.
And that's my whole thing with technology. Is it's on one end, it's beautiful. This is why we're having this conversation right now. This is why I can find stuff and I can meet people from other nations that can share with me these kind of concepts. But then you have everybody has an opinion. Everybody. And they can need to rush to social media to tell you their opinion. Which, listen, you know what? Okay. I don't have to read it, so I'm not going to, mind you. But it's just like, man, does nobody just pick up a book? Does nobody pick up a book for a certain, like, I got a buddy of mine that has a very similar book, and I'm not going to put it out there because it might get him into some trouble. That has pictures of different things, some Antarctica stuff that you can't find anymore. You can't find this stuff. I mean, it's published in what? It was like late 1800s. So you have to be careful who you're dealing with when it comes to the information that you're receiving. And that's my problem. People go to Wikipedia and think that that's law, that's God given. And it's like, no, I can edit that right now. I can edit that with the most ridiculous thing in there, and that's it. And it'll stay there until somebody else edits it or until it gets fact checked. Which it won't, because it's Wikipedia. Nobody cares.
No one cares. It's like, and Bramora said, the proud owner of a 1902 book of knowledge, awesome books. But the difference between a published document and anything electronic is published documents cannot be edited.
No.
After they're published. The cost is too prohibitive.
Yep.
And something I just heard today, some wise ass kid, they said, send in your photos to the yearbook. And this kid sent in a photo of Adolf Hitler. This is one of his photos when he was younger. And they published it. This is the big problem. They have to one of the teachers was looking through the book and saw, like, no, this has to be recalled. Now they have to recall every one of those yearbooks because Adolf Hitler's in it. And what this kid didn't realize, because they're kids, there may be a financial problem for this kid's family having to reprint all of them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're going to have to reprint all those. And that's even if they're not getting all those back. I guarantee somebody's not giving that
never
back.
give that shit back. What are you kidding me?
No, I'd be like, hey, they fell for
Dude,
it.
Hitler.
because what they're going to do is they're going to make that kid out to be a villain.
Right.
Which, in certain aspects, he's a kid. Kids do dumb things. They do dumb stuff. I did dumb stuff when I was a kid.
But here's
it's up to them. Where's your fact check? Not one of you idiots.
That's the point.
It's Hitler, right?
Yep.
It's not right. No,
there
nobody did it. Nobody did it. And
you know what? Sorry, Robert.
Go ahead. No, you're fine. Go ahead.
I didn't want to overlay over you, but you're right. The end is, why didn't somebody fact check that? Because the image of Adolf Hitler as a baby, it's noticeably different.
Yes,
compared to anything else today. I mean, like, it has that old, so somebody should have been going through, and one person screws shit up, and the next thing everybody gets their rights taken away from them. Yep. If I hear one more time we have to ban tobacco or electronic cigarettes for the children, no. How about you start arresting children and giving them tickets and forcing their parents to come in and go to court? I guarantee you they're going to stop buying e-cigarettes when they get the shit beaten out of them. And I'm not a proponent for beating up your kid. I got beaten up, but You ever see the South Park? Like talking about how we fix ADHD.
Yes.
Start studying. They start hitting. It's like,
Right.
dude,
Right.
we didn't have ADHD back in my day. If you messed up, you got whacked. I mean, and it's a good thing that they discovered some of this stuff, but
Right.
holy crap.
And when Cartman got Tourette's too.
Yeah.
That was influential on my adult life.
I'm telling you, my favorite was the Naggers episode because that was just off the chart. I love the cameraman coming in, just blinking, whatever it is. But we're like 5 minutes left. I'm sorry. I want to have you come back, and then we can get really into everything you're doing on the show.
I'll be honored to be a guest, and thank you to everybody in chat that said hey and San Sankudo. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I had a blast. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you.
Please, as always, tell everybody where they can contact you if they have questions, if they want to be a guest on your broadcast, and what you got going on the next show that you're doing.
So what we've got coming up, we've been dealing with a lot of space talk, a lot of alien talk, a lot of stuff in that realm. So we'll be diving back into that realm for the show on Saturday, which you can find on youtube.com/@This Uncanny Earth. If you would like to be a guest, feel free to reach out to me at thisuncannieearth@gmail.com. So thisuncannieearth@gmail.com. Feel free to reach out. Would love to have you on as a guest. And come on and talk about what you want to talk about.
That's awesome. But there it is, the YouTube. Like, subscribe, and share the YouTube. I'm always it's very important, and we already have to bring back this guest. We're bringing them back. This is like what I was trying to say to you before. Like, usually what happens is when you first are on a show, it's more of an introduction.
Of course.
And you got to like kind of feel the waters. And it's really fucking weird. And I don't want to use this term. It's kind of like dating. Well, he likes Star Wars. I like Star Wars. It's like, right. Oh, he likes, I like this too. He's a good guy or whatever. Or she likes this or that. It's like dating. You get used to everybody. And then you keep coming back. And Mark and I will 100% say this to you. Anything you want to promote, you're more than happy to promote it on our, we have a page right now, but we're going to look for a group. You can come on at any time you want. If you want to promote something, just hit me up. I really want to promote this because it's all about the love. And it's not unheard of Mark and I doing special shows, especially to get the European guests on. So we could do a 2:00 show on a Thursday.
Right, they're hard.
Well, it's I kind of work from home, so it's like it works out. Although I'm going to be working in a gun store soon, outdoor store, but I will take off to do it, and I can do it in the store because I have this AI stuff that uses my background, and it's called whatever the hell it's called. I forgot what it is. VCam, and I highly recommend it. I don't get anything from it. But you can put whatever you want behind it, and you can put audio and videos, and you can have things running in the background. But it is absolute pleasure for you to be here, and it's our pleasure.
Thank you.
We really do appreciate you. I think next week we have Carl Supp. But something I want to talk to everybody about quickly, and not many people. Some people pull into other shows after this. On July 15th, we're going to have Terry Mosby on the broadcast. And we're starting at 8 p.m. And one of the things we're doing, and I'm going to add this to the show right now so you can see, because I do not believe this has ever been done before by anybody. Okay? And what we're going to be doing is a global live close encounter of the fifth kind. And we want you to take part in it. So this is it. It is July 15th. We're doing it then. We're going to have Dave Scott from Spaced Out Radio on here. We're going to have Tommy Cullum on here. We're going to have Andy Booth from Alienate UK on here. We have Jen Noseworthy going to be on here. Paranormal Paul's going to be on here. David from Down the Rabbit Hole is going to be here. And of course, it's going to be great. We're going to have sky cams going up, and we're going to use our consciousness to bring in UFOs. And it's going to be a fantastic show. So that's July 15th. It's not July 8th over there. That's, please forgive me. This was made prior to us changing it to the 15th. And we beg you to join in. It's going to be really, really fun. So I don't know if you believe in those. I've actually conducted several of them, and I actually have running craft.
Just the other day, Rob was doing a lot of discussions about panspermia.
Yeah,
panspermia. That's
don't get to say that word too often.
No, you don't. It's kind of like Venn diagram. Like people are like, what? Yeah. What? Is that like a disease? I'm like, yeah, it's a disease.
It is. It's a disease.
But Rob, this is the problem I was trying to say is we podcasting and no disrespect to, because it's not everybody. It's everything in life is usually 80-20. Okay, that's how it works. But in this case, 80% of our population is uneducated and they don't have any type of knowledge of things. They don't retain it. They don't read. They get their 8 seconds from here, 10 seconds from there, and they think they're some really smart people. And it's like panspermia. You've learned about that in school. Well, if you went to school, Venn diagrams, trust me, it's like, not that these are big words, but even basic knowledge. This is why they were able to do what they did to you during, the lockdowns.
Right.
Read a fucking book.
A book.
Not a comic book.
A book.
Read one book. Try to read one book a quarter. That's every 3 months. Read one book.
I have multiples. So I have
yes.
Japanese folklore, and then I'm reading this just for fun because I never read it before. So this is Dune. Big fan of the movies. That's a
fantastic book.
You need to read Sacred Ground too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could read Sacred Ground. It's going to be a quick read.
Yes.
I started to.
Robert.
Yeah, go ahead. Say again. Yeah, those are my books above there.
Yes,
the recent Beauty, Buffalo, Coyote, Smell, and Sacred Ground. And I just wanted to put them out. I was having a bad, I always wanted to expand upon Beauty, Buffalo, Coyote, Smell. And I promised Ron Murphy I'd get the book done. That was 5 years ago. But you're as being a parent, right? You want to do certain things, but Daddy, take me ice skating. I'm like,
gotta do it. You gotta do it.
Yeah,
you gotta do it. You gotta.
Daddy, play house with me. Yeah,
gotta do it.
Yeah, Daddy, can I put makeup on you? No. Yeah, my daughters have always put makeup on me. They put ribbons in, and you look like an idiot, but.
Listen, you're beautiful. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty. Oh my God, Amanda's crazy life is here. It's good to see you. Unfortunately, we're ending.
Yes.
So it's a pleasure to come here. Let me just thank everybody for the super chats. Oregon Bigfoot Fades, I love you. Jen from Paranormal Newfoundland Podcast, love you. Mickey G, love you to death. We've got Jen again. We've got Paranormal Paul, who's running right now. Go catch his show. We have Relic Film Media sending a super sticker. Those are fun. I've discovered those. And of course, we got Bigfoot Michigan Rob. Love you, brother. And I thank you all again. Not expected, but appreciated. We love you. You all have a blessed night. And remember, these are your targets for Monday. Robert, peace out. If you got to go in the back room, I'm going to end it with like I always do. If it was for you, Robert, and everybody in this chat and our community that we built, and the friends that we made and the laughs we have, we wouldn't be doing this. So, night. God bless everybody. Have a happy 4th of July. That is my birthday. I may cry.
Happy early birthday. Happy early birthday.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir.
Happy birthday.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
You, it's always been you. God showed me you. I have been searching decades for you. I found you, I lost you. My heart is broken without you. My soul aches for you. I need you, I want you. My days are filled with you. I've seen the future with you. My home is with you. I have felt the future with you. My nights are filled with you. Love is you. True love is you. My happiness is you. Every past life is with you. My dreams are filled with you. Life is meaningless without you. My future is with you. I will fight for you. I will defend you. I will give up my life for you. Whatever it takes for you. Nothing else matters but you. I love you. I love you. I love you. God showed me you. I have been searching decades for you. I found you, I lost you. My heart is broken without you. My soul aches for you. I need you, I want you. My days are filled with you. I have seen the future with you. My home is with you. I have felt the future with you. My nights are filled with you. Love is you, true love is you. Love is you, true love is you. My happiness is you. Every past life is with you. My dreams are filled with you. Life is meaningless without you. My future is with you. I will fight for you. I will defend you. I will give up my life for you. Whatever it takes for you. Nothing else matters but you. I love you. I love you. Life is meaningless without you. My future is with you.